Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello guys, and welcome to my review of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So the second film, probably my most rewatched one out of the Harry Potter movies. And I'd say as a kid I probably liked this a lot more, but as an adult this hasn't really aged that well, but it's still an enjoyable film. Better than any of the Marvel movies you could watch. Easily Avatar 2, I have to say it. Yeah, I just miss these kind of films, man. Like having something like this to look forward to every year or 2 years. Yeah, like with the early Marvel films and just so many other great franchises that existed at this time. Yeah, Lord of the Rings and stuff, just everything, man, that we had back then. It was so good. We don't really have stuff like this anymore. Mostly everything's trash. It just sucks. Everything that we used to love has just become trash. You know, you could say all medias. I mean, there might be a few that still are good, but majority are just bad now. And yeah, this is when Harry Potter was like the GOAT. Yeah, in the UK, like it was only in the UK, and then later on it just started to become a global thing that everyone just started to love. Yeah, and it's good that it still gets love now, even though the spin-off movies are just not that good. Yeah. But yeah, this is one that I watched a lot. It's where I'd guess I'd remember most of the scenes in the Harry Potter movies. Like I can just remember just about every scene in this movie. I mean, I'm not gonna address every scene in this movie, but you know, just the most important ones, I guess, if I don't miss any. But yeah, because this is the one that I rewatched the most. Yeah, because the first one I used to have that on video, when video was still a thing, and you know, Blockbuster and stuff. Then I got the second one on DVD. I think I still have it somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. I mean, I would have showed it to you guys if I still knew where I had it. It's somewhere in the house. I'm going to rebuy the collection, but if I can find my original copy of, the Chamber of Secrets, because I have like a multi-disc where there's like extras and stuff. Yeah, but I just don't know where I put it. But yeah, because yeah, this was one that I watched a lot. Because basically the story about this one is like some kind of Chamber of Secrets and what it holds inside. Yeah, which they're gonna end up investigating, because weird things start happening in Hogwarts. Like people can start, I can't remember what they call it, but they basically become frozen basically, and they can't do anything. It even happens to like some of the ghosts, like one of the ones that we met in like the previous movie, the one where his head kind of comes off. Yeah, James something. Yeah, Sir James, I'll just call him. Yeah, but yeah, he's a cool ghost. He ends up getting like petrified. Yeah, he's petrified. I think that's what they call it, petrified. Yeah. But yeah, and basically these three again are the ones who end up trying to solve the mystery. But then they also kind of try to make, because in the first movie, this is something that I actually missed from the first movie, when actually selecting the people who become a part, like what factions they'll be in the school, like Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. With Harry, the kind of took a long time to choose what he should be in. Like he was thinking like maybe he would actually do really well as a Slytherin, but Harry wanted to be Gryffindor to be with his friends and stuff, and he didn't want to be with Malfoy, because there was actually a time where he actually could have been with Malfoy at the beginning, like when they first met. Like Malfoy wanted to make an alliance with Harry by shaking his hand, but Harry didn't want anything to do with him. He could tell he was kind of bad news, so he didn't want anything to do with him, because Harry was famous and Malfoy was, I guess, gonna take advantage of that and get him on his side. Just imagine an alternate story of Harry Potter, but he was with Slytherin. Man, I'd actually read that, or if they made it a movie or something, just if someone actually made like a fan book of that, or if it even exists anyway, Man, I'd actually read that because that'd be so interesting. Like, what would happen if Harry Potter was with Slytherin? Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see. Yeah. But you know, he ends up being Gryffindor, and it's mainly because that's not what Harry wants. So I just felt like, based on your personality, the type of person you are, it'll select the guild for you. Like, it's not just gonna listen to what you want, but I guess he was kind of like between Gryffindor and Slytherin, but I guess the hat was thinking more Slytherin because there was a lot of things that make it look like how it should have been Slytherin, and how people are starting to think like, is Harry really a good guy or is he bad? Because this decides to go more on like a Harry could be bad, with how, because the first movie they just viewed him as like a hero, well, a celebrity and a hero. Not like a full hero yet until like the ending, but yeah. But going into the second one, basically a hero and a celebrity, like it's kind of increased a lot. Even when you meet someone, Lucius, like some guy who just loves himself, like his Prince Charming from Shrek. Yeah. But he ends up being like a Hercule character from, you know, Dragon Ball, who, you know, seems like he's like one of the best wizards and famous, but really it's just he only has fame really, like as a Kim Kardashian. I don't know. Because when it comes to actually being a wizard, he is terrible. Even when he's trying to teach the students, he's just so bad. Like for those blue fairy things, like he just lets the whole, you know, class end up in chaos, and he just leaves. When we get to like the wand duels, like oh my god, the wand duels are so cool. Yeah, that's like a cool part of the movie. And you actually get to see Malfoy and Harry actually versing each other. Yeah, that's a cool scene. And then like the teachers as well, but you know, when he fights Professor Snape, like Lucius, he has no chance because he doesn't even try to defend himself. Like he should have so much knowledge, but he just acts like a noob. Like how did he get famous again? Like what? For him to not know anything, but even Professor Snape's taking the piss out of him. Like why are you not defending, man? Like what the hell are you doing? Yeah. He's just a terrible teacher. He even tries to, because basically, I don't know if he was trying to get into the Chamber of Secrets as well, because I guess the main villain of this is like Tom Riddle, which later on gets, you know, revealed as Lord Voldemort. They literally spell it out like with magic, like because basically Tom Riddle in reverse is basically no, it's not. Well, the way how it's done, like it's like backwards, but then when you actually reverse it, it spells out Lord Voldemort. Yeah. But yeah, just the way how they spelled out, man, it's just like, oh my god, we get it. And yeah, there's just a few things that kind of put this movie down a bit. Like, there's not as many iconic moments, but still, like when because basically Harry starts off as, you know, back at that place that he hates with his family, the ones that don't really care about him. But then that's when his friends come to help him get out, because basically, I don't know if it was in this one where the letters just go crazy or something. I can't remember the full story. But basically, I guess Harry does something to piss off his uncle, should I say, and then just locks him in his flipping room. Like he literally like puts metal on the flipping windows so he can't get out. But then that's when Ronald and his family helps him escape. Yeah. And then that's when he ends up with Ronald's family, like the twins and stuff, and Ronald's little sister, who I guess has a crush on Harry. Yeah, because we already know what happens with them two in the future. But yeah. But yeah, and then that's when they go see Lucius getting autographs, and then Lucius sees Harry, so that because he knows that Harry's famous as well, so they end up having a picture together. But Harry's just like, who the hell is this anyway? I don't know you. But then like one of his mum's just like, oh my god, I fancy him. Yeah. Also that scene where, you know, one was getting told off, because basically what happens is that I guess the magic starts to fade when they're supposed to go on the train, like in the first one, but they end up not being able to make it, so they have to try drive the car, which, you know, ends up being really dangerous, especially when you get to the train scene, because they try to use the train to get to the point where they can get to Hogwarts, like make a turn to get to Hogwarts, but then the train ends up being behind them, and just seeing one's face like just it's just, I can't do it. It's just, his face is perfect. Yeah. I guess the reaction to seeing the train, and then like Harry nearly falling out of the flipping car, because like a flying car, and I think like 7 people see it, and then they get like in bad trouble for that. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably like the highlight of the movie, apart from the ending with the snake, which you know we'll get to, and Tom Riddle, which Tom Riddle is just like a dumb villain to me. Literally standing there the whole time while he's letting the snake do all the work. I mean, he gives you like exposition, and then he just lets the snake do everything instead of trying to kill Harry. Yeah. But you know, we'll get more into that. And then, you know, him getting to see the gun again. Yeah. I mean, he's with Ronald first anyway, and his family. But then he, you know, sees Hermione and stuff. And then later on, that's when they start seeing things happening. But then, like, every time they're next to the thing, the bad thing that happens, like, every single time, man. It's just so convenient, and they just start to think, like, they're the reason why a lot of bad things happen. That's also related to, like, the Chamber of Secrets, yeah. Because you just see Gus ending up petrified to, like, some of the students. Yeah, like this one who takes pictures of Harry and stuff. Yeah, even when he's playing Quidditch again. Yeah, which we actually get to see Malfoy play Quidditch, so it's more like intense that way, because you already know they have a rivalry. So when you see them both be Seekers, and you know we actually get to meet Malfoy's family as well. Yeah, well, his dad. Yeah, like he seems, you can kind of tell where he gets a lot of his you know, inspiration from. Like Draco, yeah. Like from his dad, man, he's just a terrible person. The way Harry kind of looks down on the Weasleys. I mean, everyone looks down on the Weasleys, but he's probably the one who looks down on them the most, like the flipping rats or something. Because, like, you know, Draco's like the boss above his family. Like, basically, he could easily just fire the dad and they'd be screwed. Yeah. Like, he just has so much power over a lot of people. And I haven't even talked about Dobby as well, because he was at the beginning as well, because he was the one who was trying to stop Harry from going to Hogwarts, because if he went there, something bad was going to happen. Yeah, even when they're playing Quidditch, like a ball tries to kill him while he's trying to get the golden snitch. Malfoy's having an easy time until it actually only hits him. I think it does hit him, yeah. Breaks his flipping thing, yeah. Or is it Harry that defeated him? I can't remember, but yeah. However it goes. But he does end up catching it like in the first one, but in the first one he basically swallowed it and he had to spill it out. This one he catches it, but then the ball nearly kills him. Like, it's still after him after he catches it. He was so intense. Yeah. And then someone uses a spell to destroy the ball. Yeah. To protect Harry. Because yeah, Dobby just says that if he goes to Hogwarts, something bad will happen. He just knows. And you know, bad things actually end up happening, but Dobby, he's actually responsible for a lot of those bad things, and that's because Draco was basically, well, Draco's father was basically controlling Dobby because he's like a slave, because like the elves are basically slaves, and the only way they get free is if they get like a piece of clothing from their master to basically set them free. But you know, that doesn't really happen until the end, where I guess Harry kind of tricks Draco's father to put clothing in the book, but then that kind of counts, you know, for Dobby to be free, so then he can fight against the father. Yeah, that's a good scene. Yeah, because for most of the movie, especially when you find out that Dobby's responsible for then getting Harry killed several times in the movie, you don't really like him, but just knowing what he's going through and him having no choice, because he definitely doesn't even want to hurt Harry. Like when you basically see him in Harry's house, well, his grandparents' house, you know, he's actually not supposed to be there. He only comes to protect Harry and warn him, because he knows he's going to be the one who's going to be forced to hurt him because of the father, like Draco's father. Yeah. Like he's going to be the one who's actually attacking Harry, but probably tries his best to make it look like he's not actually, well, he probably not trying to kill him, but he has to make it look believable, probably. Yeah. Because man, a lot of the times it looks like Harry could have easily got killed in a lot of the moments. Like when that flipping Quidditch ball's coming for him. Oh my God, what if something went wrong? Yeah. So yeah, it's just nice how things end for Dobby, and you kind of understand what he was going through. Like, and the way Harry just punishes himself, like hitting himself against stuff. Yeah, just the mentality that he probably has from being a slave for all those times for the Malfoy family. Yeah. And how Harry just sets him free, and then he's basically like loyal to Harry for like the rest of the franchise after that. Yeah, because elves can be pretty powerful, and having someone like that on his side, yeah. Which we see him in more of the movies. You don't really see him in the third one, but yeah. And when they actually find the Chamber of Secrets, yeah, because I guess it's like this ghost girl who kind of sees a lot of what happens, but probably doesn't even tell him, or she doesn't really pay much attention, but she kind of gives him clues as well. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of an annoying character with her voice and stuff. Like, she was a bit much. The way how she moans and stuff is just it's so annoying. Her character, yeah, the one in the ladies' bathroom, yeah. But near that area, that's where the Chamber of Secrets is, I think. And then you basically find out that one of Weasley's sister is being controlled by Tom Riddle, and the reason why he comes to life is because of the book. Because we kind of get a bit of backstory to Tom Riddle, and how Tom Riddle tried to frame Hagrid for some of the things Tom Riddle did. But thanks to Dumbledore, like he had defense, and Dumbledore just knew that Tom Riddle was a bad person, because Tom Riddle was basically who Voldemort was before he became, Lord Voldemort. Because he was just like a student at Hogwarts at the beginning. Yeah, and you get some to the backstory of Hogwarts as well, about how all of them, how the wizards and witches kind of formed the whole thing together, and how one of them, which obviously was Slytherin, tried to be more, powerful than the others, and how they just make it look like that everyone's just like locked down upon, and the Slytherin like just grew more in power in that way. And that's why you see, Draco Malfoy's, father being like high up and stuff, yeah. And just see, and when they actually see, when it gets to a point where, a student then gets attacked by a snake because of stupid Lucius, yeah, because he's supposed to kill the snake, but he ends up like flinging it to a student, and then you see Harry talking to the snake. Because it looks like he's just trying to stop it from what it's doing, but then he's actually talking like a different language, and that made people think like, is Harry bad or something? Like, was he trying to make him kill that student or something? Like, yeah, the things I probably was thinking. Yeah, because when he was talking, it seems like he's just talking normal, but he's actually talking like a snake language. Yeah, and he doesn't even realize. Yeah, because that's what his friends tell him. Yeah, but yeah, they end up finding the Chamber of Secrets. I think before then, they have to get something to be able to, actually get into the Chamber of Secrets from Malfoy's gang, so they end up pretending to be them, so they can get the thing that they need. Hermione, she ends up turning into a cat, and then she gets petrified, like, for a lot of the movie, like, end of the second act, third act, you don't really get to see Hermione, because of the things she goes through, and Hagrid, he ends up in jail. So basically, Tom Riddle actually got what he wanted all those years ago. Yeah. And then, when they actually get to the Chamber of Secrets, well, I think the other stuff they have to do before is like, go to those spiders for some information, because Hagrid was like a friend of the spiders when the spiders tried to kill them, and just the car's the goat, man, actually protecting them and stuff. Yeah, because it goes through so much trying to get them to Hogwarts, and then they get destroyed. Like with that tree scene, and then basically later on with the spiders, and it still protected them, and got karma. Then it just ends up in the woods somewhere, because they had to get some information for a few places to be able to actually get to the Chamber of Secrets. And then when they get inside, that's when how he has to fight the snake. He ends up getting a sword from Dumbledore to slay the snake, because he ends up being blind as well from like, I think Dumbledore's like bird, the phoenix, yeah. And then that's when he basically ends up slaying the snake, which is a pretty cool scene, man. Yeah. And then that's when he defeats Tom Riddle by destroying the book. He ends up going, yeah. I mean, he's a crappy villain. Like, his dialogue was a bit stupid. It was extra, but it's a kids' movie. What are you gonna do? But man, when you get to the third one, yeah, that's pretty dark, which we'll get to. Yeah. It just, basically ends well, everyone's happy, yeah. A nice little ending, I guess, yeah. Hermione's okay, Hagrid gets out of jail, Azkaban, yeah. everything basically ends up well, and it just sucks that some of those characters weren't really in like those parts of the movie. Just take them out of the movie, so something's like missing for the rest of the movie. You just have like Ronald and Harry trying to solve all of this by themselves without Hermione. I mean, Hermione helped them at the beginning and stuff, but then like it's just left to them two. Yeah, but at least Dumbledore had to step in and help by the end with the flipping sword, because without that, yeah, Harry would be dead. Like that, he would have got eaten by that snake. Yeah, actually defeating the Slytherin snake, man. Yeah, so cool. Because I used to have like the toy where to make like the sweets and stuff. Like yeah, I used to have all the type of Harry Potter things as a kid. Yeah, but yeah, great film, man. Definitely enjoyed this, but just rewatching it, it's just, I don't know. It's like it felt like certain things about the movie was missing, like what makes Harry Potter so good. But it was still a good movie though. I mean, yeah. When I say it hasn't aged well, I just don't enjoy it as much as some of the other ones. But yeah, it's a good film. Yeah. And I guess I'll just end it here. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like and peace.